Hi guys, how are y'all doing? How is it going? How have you guys been? Oh, it's been a minute, but if you have forgotten what my voice sounds like, it's A to B, and we're locked into the Talks with A to B show on the music of the Radio Soul station. And of course, I'm joined by none other than my co-host to my left. Well, when you watch it visually, you'll be able to see what I mean by to my left. But yeah, please, Joe, introduce yourself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is Joe, aka Joe Wrights, and I am on Talks with A to B show. Not just for the first time or the second time. I am officially now a co-host, so you guys are gonna be seeing my face every week. But yeah, man, it's good to be back. We live on radio, man.
Yes, we are, and it feels really, really good to be back. It's been a minute. I had to enjoy the summer with the rest of you guys. Like, how could I just be watching you guys enjoying summer and I'm just at home, trying to figure out how to put together a show. So, yeah, I had to be outside for a little bit. I had to get some personal things done. But all that being said, I feel like this is just a new chapter. It's a new season, and I'm just really excited to kind of show you guys more of what I would really love the platform to become, what I'd really love for it to be. If you haven't been catching up on previous episodes, you missed out because we had some amazing guests.
You want to tell them what they missed out on?
I don't even know if I should, really, because I kind of
give us a bag.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, I was really, really honoured, to be able to speak with some really, really cool artists from around the world. We had not just an international playlist, but we had some international guests.
Woo, woo.
Yeah, so, people kind of calling in from Greece, from Nigeria.
Oh,
it
word.
was really, really cool, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Just calling in and just letting me know what their journey's been like, in the creative industry so far, how they kind of came to know that this is what they wanted to do, etc., etc. So some really dope conversations. So, I mean, yeah, Spotify's there, Apple Podcasts is there, and many other streaming platforms for podcasts are out there. So if you're not already, follow the socials at Talks with A to B.
Yes, sir.
And you can hit the link in the bio and you can see the submissions playlist and you can catch up on the previous radio show episodes. But yeah, this, as I said, is a new chapter. So I think we're just going to get right into it. What do you think?
Let's get into it, man.
Do you want to tell me first, actually, how you been? Because it's been a while.
Boy, I've had an eventful summer leading into the start of the last quarter of the year, I guess. But yeah, my summer was all right. I was out with friends, enjoying as usual. Then wham, straight back into the working world. Those that don't know, I'm in the teaching world now. It's crazy out here, man. So yeah, my schedule was all over the place, but I will always make time for Talks with A to B show, as always. So I'm always here. But yeah, it's been good. It's been busy trying to just balance work and obviously the things we do outside of work is it's challenging, but it's a good challenge. Obviously, I'm not the oldest teacher in the building, so I am like youngish, and like there's a sense of like responsibility factor with the kids in it, so that they always see me and it's like they're really, really buddy. And I was telling you yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? I was saying like you have to draw the line of like school teacher, strict teacher, mentor. Like it's hard. You always bounce between the three of them, but no, it's fun, man. I'm enjoying it.
No, it's good. I think, in this age of Me Too and all the rest of it, definitely got to have them boundaries. But I imagine it's very rewarding, to be honest.
No, it is.
I mean, that's really awesome. We do need more educators. We do need more teachers.
Sir.
Like,
we need more black male teachers, man.
We really do. Like, they need to have that, especially for those who don't have it at home. They need to be able to see that in the classroom, because that is actually where we spend the majority of our lives.
Yeah, man. We're with your kids more than you're with your kids during the week.
Literally.
The room.
So it's crazy out here, but you know what, I'm glad that regardless of that there are still people like Joe who still have that passion and umph and I guess that gift to be able to teach children, because I think it's really, really, it's not easy. It's not easy at all, and sometimes I have to be honest, we are a bit guilty of not well, for me, because I guess I'm on the later end of my 20s, sometimes I'm a bit guilty of not giving younger people that grace to, like, just be...
Oh, you feel like all of them should be mature already from the jump?
It's not even mature. It's like some things I'm just like, the reasoning is just like... do you know what I mean? But then I'm like, you know what? I was that age once too, and my reasoning was not always on point.
No, I hear it.
I might have been, quote-unquote, what they called sensible for my age, but I definitely did a lot of really like
mischievous things,
nonsensical stuff. Yeah, like honestly, I just didn't need to be doing. So sometimes I think it is important to
and it's so crazy. I give them grace because like a lot of them are quite like they look old, but the mind is not. Like these kids are grown like in terms of like height, but mind like just mentals, they're so there's a big disparity. So that's why I extend them as much grace as possible, man.
I think that's important. We need to show more love and grace to the next generation, because sometimes the way people like a lot older than me, the way they talk about the younger generation, it's like, excuse me, it's not exactly like you are innocent, okay, Mr. 3 baby fathers.
Oh God, they
okay. I'm just saying, like, it's very ironic. It's very ironic
on a Thursday, please.
I'm just saying, it's very ironic some of the judgments that's passed down to these younger kids. Okay, they're not doing much different from what you were doing. They might have more access to things at an earlier age, but honestly, a lot of people, especially of the older generation, were moving mad.
I hear it still. I hear it.
Speaking of which, actually,
yes, sir.
If we just go like straight into it, Cardi B and Nicki Minaj.
This seems like a never-ending battle.
Honestly,
this is like
it's like
part 3.
It's honestly, it is in parts right now. Like, we're watching a series, we're watching a saga. Like, I don't know what's going on.
This is like part 3, man.
It's weird. I don't know. For me, at first, I was really like on Cardi's side. Not Cardi's side, sorry. On Nicki's side, because being a prehistoric Nicki fan.
She said do you know what's so crazy? Sorry to cut you short, so, obviously, teaching whatever.
Yeah.
During the school, obviously, it's Black History Month. We'll get into that a bit more. But, so part of the society within year 12 and year 13, they have a black society.
Right.
So today was karaoke day.
Okay.
So they took time off after school. Like, there's literally loads of them in the hall.
Okay.
And they were just going through, like, all their favourite songs, innit?
Right.
And I think a Nicki song came on. I can't remember what song it was. Was it Monster? Well, that's not really a Nicki song. It was Nicki feature. But I think Monster came on and
I'm laughing.
Super Bass. They put on Super Bass as well.
That song of hers.
These kids were going at it, boy. Word for word, bar for bar. I said, wow, I haven't seen fans like this in a second.
No, honestly.
Yeah, don't come for Nicki fans, man.
No, Nicki fans...
They're not
Listen, they don't care what Nicki does. Even the fact that she's marrying she's married to a sexual offender, it doesn't matter to them. Like, they are just like, Nicki can do no wrong in their eyes. My only thing about stan culture, which I think is a conversation for another day, is that it's super toxic, and I think is actually what has fueled like this Nicki Cardi beef. Because I honestly feel like there's not really, I don't know why there is. They don't need to fight, but for me, what I'm seeing more of is that Nicki is showing, to me personally, a lot of her insecurities.
Oh wow! So we got sides.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. I just feel like, because I'm like,
we got sides.
Her to be like, to me, she's a goat.
Sorry to cut you short. For the listeners, obviously, those are tuning in right now. What's actually the beef? Because Nicki and Cardi, not Cardi and Nicki, got nothing to do with me.
To be honest, like I said, I just think it's the fans. I think.
It's so they're fueling the beef.
I really do, because obviously from early doors in Cardi's career, people were comparing her to Nicki from the offset, saying that she's trying to be like Nicki. Nicki's her blueprint. She's the son of Nicki. Blah 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 blah. Like, I remember that when Cardi B was like bubbling and she was starting to come off. To come up. That's what I always kept seeing, the fans just like going back and forth. And I was just like, it's okay for multiple female rappers to coexist. Like, the same way there are multiple male rappers that exist, and they can all sound the same on 20 different songs or on the same song. I got
a thing though. Like, this is hip hop, so like beef is welcomed in the hip hop community.
Glorilla and Cardi B have a song out. Right, together. It's called Tomorrow 2. And I can't lie, when I heard the trailer, I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool.
Her name is Glorilla.
Yeah, Glorilla.
Alright, go check her out.
And yeah, they've got a song together, and yeah, it's catchy, it's good or whatever. I mean, I'm not really into that kind of hip hop personally, but I can see the appeal. And I can't lie, Carly's verse was cold. You know, she did a really good job. So I was thinking, this is a moment for Glorilla. Like, this is going to be a chart hit song, guaranteed. Like, it racked like 1 million views, I think, within a day.
It
was just like, I completely understood the visuals, the lyricism, like the whole visual element to it, like the promotion leading up to the single release. It was all really, really, really good. Nicki Minaj also around the same time released a Super Freaky Girl song featuring, oh gosh, can I remember all the names? Malibu Mitch, Bia. JT, and I'm sure I'm missing one other person. Oh yeah, Akbar V from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I'm like, what was she doing on? I don't understand why Akbar V was on there, but yeah, I think that's all the women that were on Nicki's Super Freaky Girl single. And I'm not gonna lie, it just, for me personally, like if I had to compare the two, I'm not gonna listen to Nicki Minaj's song. It didn't really hit me. It didn't strike me as like anything new or different. I have to be real, the girls weren't giving. Like JT did her thing. I feel like JT is actually really, really good. Like she's genuinely a good rapper. But for the other girls, and I don't even mind Malibu Bitch because I've heard a couple of her songs. I was introduced to her via Bree Runway, so I don't even mind her music, but to me the girls just didn't deliver on this track. So for whatever reason, the girls who are featuring on Nicki's track started subbing Cardi B, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, but you throw shots at people, innit, to get their attention a little bit, no?
No, but why? Like, there was no, like,
there was no reasoning behind it.
Like, someone tell me, because I couldn't, when I was doing my Googles, I couldn't see what it was that kicked that off. They went at it, and I think Malibu Mitch took it to the next level and was basically telling Cardi B to pull up. So,
it was
Cardi B
like
did.
that?
Yeah,
she did?
She pulled up.
And what happened?
Okay.
See, this is what I mean with women in hip hop, man.
Don't be saying it. Because
she pulled up, and what happened?
She pulled up, but apparently they were in the same area. So it's like us being in this area right now,
okay,
one end of Oxford Street and some at the other end of Oxford Street, right? That's basically what had happened.
And that's where it stopped.
So it was just kind of like, okay. And then I remember Nicki Minaj putting JT's profile photo as her profile picture when JT was going at it with Cardi B. It was just like real petty. And then Cardi B changed her profile picture. It was just real dumb. But like, I don't know if you know about the female rappers, the women who rapped in the 90s, because some people get female. Foxy Brown, Lil Kim beef, super hot at the time. Obviously, as the media always does, always putting the women against.
This is what I mean. This is what I'm saying. In hip hop culture, like, it's part of it. Like, you don't get hip hop if you don't get beef. Like, people are just naturally going to beef, and especially when but it will never just be in the music. Like, it's always going to spew. It can't. It's always going to spew up because people like entertainment. The same way with like Nas and Jay-Z. And that, like, just the culture around that, like, that spewed out, and that made that's a very big moment in hip hop, like the Jay-Z and the Nas beef. So in the same way, Kim, Foxy, Cardi, Nicki, like, the GOATs are always going to go at each other, and that's fine. And if anything, that just makes them produce more and better music, because somebody's coming for you got to come back for somebody. Like, it's all part of the culture, man. As long as you keep it tasteful, that's but even if it's a little bit distasteful, it's fine. There's just certain boundaries that, I mean, then again, the argument is like, you know, there's no lines in hip hop. I remember the same thing happened with Pusha and Drake.
Yes.
Yeah. See, same thing. Funny. Like, sometimes there's just
that was kind of funny.
There's no lines, man. You can't tell an artist where to draw a line with, like, beef, especially if you're both artists in the hip hop scene as well. It's not like this is like R&B. I mean, I don't know if do people come for each other in R&B?
I was gonna say, because I'm glad everybody coming for me, because. And that's what the field that I'm in, because I think that's just that I mean,
it's part of the game.
I feel like in R&B there definitely has been subliminals. Like, there's definitely been songs where people have
throw shots at each other.
Yeah, definitely, like singing about other women's men or other men's women.
Yeah.
Like
taking your girl, all that kind of stuff.
All of that kind of stuff. No, and literally it being in reference to a real life situation.
Okay.
And the other person also responding. Like, there's definitely that in R&B, but because it's singing, I think, you know, it doesn't tend to go that far. Like, they might have a couple stern words or something, but I haven't heard of like a physical altercation that stemmed off the back of an R&B track.
Right.
Let me know though, because
let us know. I don't know what beefs are happening.
That got physical. Not that I want it to get physical, but like, I'd be interested to know about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Speaking of physical though,
right.
we got some online beef going on.
Oh gosh.
You know, as always, whatever happens in the social media world, people are going to be tweeting their fingers.
Absolutely.
And letting their opinions be known.
Defo.
I don't know if you guys are aware, but as of now, in theaters, I'm a big movie person. I love the movies.
Yeah.
We've got some blockbuster films going on right now. We've got Halloween, which I think comes out tomorrow.
Nice.
We've got, I think, another horror movie called Smile. We've got another one. There's another horror movie. I can't remember, but I think the big blockbuster for this month is The Woman King. For those that don't know, featuring Viola Davis, John Boyega, and a few other superstars. Directed by Kerry Washington. Is that correct? Yes, it is. But yeah, so for those that you know, The Woman King is a story of the Agoji people, the all-female unit of warriors who protected the African kingdom from the Dahomey in the 1800s with skills and their Amazonian-like fierceness, in battle inspired by true events. So essentially documenting, the lives of a all-female African warrior unit. Like, this is supposed to be, I'm assuming the idea of this movie was supposed to be uplifting in the sense that, in the same way, like, in our history as black people, there were, all female led warriors as well as obviously all male warriors that we probably know about. However, though, and this is where people, are taking a stern face to the depiction of this movie. A lot of what is put in cinema isn't reflected in actual history. So for those that don't know, the Agoji people were in fact actually, the Agoji warriors were in fact actually in light, or in, they kind of pushed the slave trade as well, especially within the transatlantic. So they definitely pushed it as well. So as well as them obviously fighting and defending themselves, they also pushed that idea of obviously moving slaves around, which obviously people are not happy about. And I think originally they were intending to make it into a film where it was meant to be like, obviously, like I said, just uplifting and showing the good parts. But I think like over social media, a lot of people have been documenting their kind of like distaste for it because it doesn't, one, reflect the true history, and two, in a way, it's kind of like shunning down what actually happened, and we're kind of like picking our own parts of cinema that we want to show, as opposed to showing the real parts. And a lot of people aren't happy about that. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't know. I just feel like, enjoy the movie. Do you know what
People
I mean?
are saying that they're trying to rewrite history in a sense, because this is not actually what's going on. If you really were understanding of it, you would know that these people aren't to be glorified in the way that
I agree.
Hollywood is glorifying them.
I agree. I mean, doing my research, I definitely was able to see quite quickly, like, these people were very much involved in the transatlantic European slave trade, and they were even to some degree oppressing their own people and kind of forcing them into slavery as well. There's definitely layers to that story, but I'm just like, y'all don't have this much outrage for the millions of movies that A, have been whitewashed, and two, that have rewritten history repeatedly, because they don't even release one version of the movie. They release like 3 or 4 versions of the movie, and each film that comes out is equally inaccurate. So I'm like, if you had this collective uproar for also white directed, white produced movies, I would hear you. But to me, I just feel like black people have this thing of like, when black people do something, we're extremely critical of what it is that we do.
I think being critical is good though, because something like this, like for example, I was told that Lupita Nyong'o was actually offered the role initially, and she declined it because she was like, I'm not about to get into a movie where I understand the historical context behind this, because I can see how it can be perceived. So we are allowed to be critical, because essentially what Hollywood tends to do is, like I said, they tend to rewrite history in a way that, one, obviously you can put uplifting in speech marks if you want to, because it is we are showing a new light of cinema where we're like, wow, okay, look, these are women, female warriors, black women, empowerment, and the list goes on. But if we're going to only pick certain parts of the history and show it, it's like, okay, then what are the intentions behind it? How much thought and how much process went into actually making this movie? Or are we just doing it because we're relying on that, I guess, I don't want to use the token, kind of like the token black of cinema, because there is that certain feel now in Hollywood where they want to put out certain movies and make, certain actors and actresses like the token black faces in particular Hollywood blockbuster events. So it's like, how much thought process was gone into this movie? Because if you knew the full historical context, maybe you could have shown both sides, as opposed to just showing it in a way where go on.
If they were smarter, maybe they could have just made it up, like literally made it up.
That's worse. That's way worse.
Do you know what I mean?
No, that's worse. That's worse.
Don't you reference an actual group of people that have a very negative past, like
give them like
create your own fictional group of warrior women who go out and fight. But the fact that they've actually referenced something that actually exists, I do get that aspect of it, but I'm also just like, don't watch the movie or watch the movie. I don't know.
And I don't know if this one's a hit or miss, but I am being told that it is doing well in the cinemas.
Yeah, it is doing really well, and actually people who have gone to see it have actually said that it's a brilliant film. It's brilliantly directed. It brought them to tears. They just felt like it was just really overall like an amazing production. So I think in that regard, I guess congratulations to everyone who was involved. I know John Boyega was in there as well.
Yes, John Boyega was involved as well.
Nice to see, because I know he's been kind of blackballed a little bit.
For this movie? Not
for this movie, just in general. For his views on just being unapologetically black.
Yeah.
And so, I remember when the Star Wars movie dropped, and then obviously, I can't remember, was it the George Floyd riots? Yeah, when we had the Black Lives Matter riots here in London. People. He was one of the few people that kind of just stood up on a platform and spoke about how he felt and what he thought about the whole situation. And people didn't like that, particularly in Hollywood. But so it was good to see that, because there was another black director in Hollywood who has got influence and has got a say, was able to kind of put him back in the spotlight in this way. And also the interviews he's been giving out in the lead up to this has been brilliant. It just shows how educated he is as well, and just love to see it, really. Yeah, man, love to see it. But for those of you who haven't seen The Woman King yet, you know what? As always, I always tell people, listen, if you've got an opinion about something, go see it first. Don't start tweeting and making all kind of rubbish if you haven't seen the movie like that. Come on, we're grown now. Exactly. So go see the movie. If you like it and you like the depiction and you want to know more about the homie kingdom or the Agoji people in general, then you do your research afterwards and then compare it to what you've seen, because at the end of the day, it is a movie. It is going to be fictionalized. It is Hollywood. It's going to be big. Exactly. It's going to be exaggerated a little bit. Like with I'm sure every film that has some sort of historical context or truth to it, they always exaggerate in Hollywood. They do. I mean, they have to. It's a movie at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? It's not a documentary. I was about to say. If you want to watch a documentary, there's loads. It's not a documentary. It's not a documentary. It's a film. So I feel like just give that little bit of grace. Use a bit of your imagination and go along with. And if you don't like it, then fair enough. But some of you ain't even. You just saw a trailer and you were like, no. Yeah, man. Go check out the movie first, at least, man. But someone who I thought would be championing this movie because they were so vocal about saying slavery is a choice. Oh God. I can't keep defending this man. Kanye West. I can't keep defending this man. There's something really wrong up there, and I'm genuinely. I can't keep defending you, man. You ain't got the answer, Sway. And then in his recent interview, he said that Sway didn't have the answer. I said, this guy is a real life. You know what's so crazy? I saw an interview with what's his name? Oh my God, it's literally just left my head. Dame Dash, that's it. I saw an interview with Dame because Dame was in London not too long ago, actually. Yes, yeah. And he was basically saying how, a lot of people understand, that Kanye isn't okay. The words he used verbatim was there's a chemical imbalance. So that's what literally Dame Dash said. This man isn't well. And instead of putting a doctor in his face, you put cameras in his face. That's literally what he said. And he was just saying that in the moments where you're supposed to that what this person is saying or their actions based on their actions, there's something that's not right here. And rather than helping to help tweak that and help him change or help him do good or fix that problem, we want to put cameras in the face and want to blow it up and put it on blogs and take it out of context. Right. Certain things can't be taken out of context. I'll be real. The White Lives Matter t-shirt, boy, I don't know how you. I don't know how. Paris Fashion Week. I don't know how you. And he had Candace Owens as. Oh, it was a mess. It was a serious mess. I don't know. And he knew. I mean, using Candace Owens was very intentional. Very intentional. We know how the black community, particularly in America, feel about Candace Owens. So, I think. Yes, I do agree to an extent that, he definitely does need some kind of therapy, counselling, medication, something to kind of help him figure out what his demons are right now and face them, and so he can move forward from them. But in the same breath, I'm just this is a man who is, he's literally, he's a multimillionaire, right? He's got several successful businesses, although allegedly, his deal with Gap is, kind of
It's coming
to an end. Adidas as well. He's looking to move it easy from there, and just so many things going on. But Charlemagne, the god. Geo something. I'm not a fan of his at all. But
of Charlemagne.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of Charlemagne the God. I'm not a fan of the Breakfast Club like that. But I mean,
are they not done, by the way? I thought they come to an end, right?
I think they are, but I think they've still got some contractual obligations, I'm sure. So it is what it is. But he did mention that, in his opinion, he believes that Kanye West is an attention seeker and he seeks white validation.
You really think this is a attention-seeking
behaviour? I didn't say it, Charlemagne did. And he basically said, yes, he believes that there is an element of just him kind of wanting to seek that white validation from marrying Kim K and getting her kind of like, quote unquote, approved in Hollywood. Because if we're being honest, before Kanye, Kim K nobody was taking her seriously. Like, she was just a girl who released a sex tape, right? Nobody saw her as a fashion icon or somebody to be influenced by, or let alone to even hear her true thoughts on.
Why do you guys think it's attention seeking? Like, why don't you actually think this is actually? And I can't keep defending him because I feel like at this point now, this is like he's a grown man, and I know Dame Dash talks about this whole thing about there's a chemical imbalance, and like instead of putting the doctor to his face, we put cameras to his face. But this is a grown man, and if you're making these kind of decisions, there is definitely like you have free will, like you have choice, and like you're conscious of the choices that you're making. And
the same way he's able to sign the contracts for his $1 million empire, it's the same way he can say sign a contract to say I need therapy for the next 12 years.
But it's not easy though. He's been saying like it's not an easy battle. Like we've been seeing the moment. Hey, listen, I'll be real. I'm a diehard Kanye fan, man. So like you're always gonna like I can't keep defending him. I'll be real, but you know what it is? It's like having somebody that's like one of like your idols, and like there's a little bit of favoritism that goes into it, and then when they do something wrong, it's just like, bro, like I can't. How do I best defend like this is like the White Lives Matter thing with the t-shirts? I'm just like, bro, I got nothing.
We knew from when he said slavery was a choice.
Oh god, I got nothing, man. I got nothing.
Do you know what I mean? Like slavery was a choice. White lives matter.
So you think this is a ploy? Like you think this is definitely just attention seeking, like trying to get? I
think it's a mixture of both.
Fame will do that to you, though. Fame will blindside you, where you aren't able to be as reflective in these moments. Like you do things off impulse, and like I feel like Kanye is a very impulsive guy. Like he does things just off emotion and feeling, and we've seen that like throughout. Someone said to me recently, "It's like how does he keep topping?" How does he keep topping his next like viral moment? Because I don't know. I don't want to see I don't want to see how big he can get in terms of like being viral. Like Kanye's had some epic moments, and
you know what?
I don't know if this gets any worse. I'll be real.
It's interesting to me that you say that actually, because I feel like this is also a new strategy. It's not very new.
What, on him?
Not for him specifically, but that I've noticed that a lot of like labels are kind of trying to force their artists to kind of have these viral moments because they've seen how well it works.
For sure.
So it's like if they know this is something that's going to get the people going, like of course the labels are going to be like, right, so at this time when you go to this place, this is what you're going to do. And I don't know how much of it is his all thinking and this is what
you think there's people above that are pushing this agenda?
Absolutely, they're pushing it. They're like, yes, Kanye, go and do that. Put that White Lives Matter t-shirt out there on Paris Fashion Week. That's perfect because that's exactly what we need. We need you to generate those clicks and views.
And you think he's gonna listen in that way? As rebellious as he is, you think there's people that control him in that way? I don't think there are people.
Yes, because at the end of the day, until he's his own quote unquote entity, he has to answer to somebody. He's not answering to himself.
Nah, I don't see Ye like that, man.
Might not see it, but like it's happening. Unless he's not signed to anyone at the moment and he's like running himself. There is somebody that he is reporting to. That is somebody that is accountable for what Kanye does and how much money Kanye makes and when Kanye puts out an album and all of that kind of stuff. So, he can come on and do all of this crazy stuff and say everything he's saying, but at the end of the day, someone else is still signing his checks. So until he is his own entity and he can sign off on his own ish, I do believe there are people that are saying, yeah, that's fine, just keep doing that, or in fact, why don't you do this? And why don't you do that?
This brother needs some help, man. I'm tired of defending him. I can't lie, man.
Help.
I'm super tired. I'm
Somebody
super
help
tired.
Kanye, please.
Please.
Let's start, maybe, not me personally, but like, I mean, I can say a prayer or two, but those like yourself, Joe, who are like diehard stands, maybe you need to get together, form a prayer group and start weekly prayers for Kanye, because I don't know what's going on over there, but it's a lot.